Hey guys, this is Basketball Star 1130. I know I haven't been back in a while. It feels and seems like I say that like every video, but I truly haven't been back in a while. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited to be back, but I'm graduating in a couple weeks, so I've been busy with that and senior stuff. But anyway, I'm back on track here. So today we're gonna go over, first of all, NBA. I love talking about the NBA. I love talking about basketball in general. And you guys don't even know, like, the sheer amount of NBA content I've watched in the last week or so is insane. A bunch of different channels on YouTube, informational videos, everything, playoff coverage, everything. And I wanted to start my own playoff coverage. So we will do previews, recaps, questions, thoughts, theories, anything, and then off season after this. My NFL record predictions will be have to put in the back burner. They're going to be sporadic because of the playoffs. Once the playoffs slow down, maybe then I'll get to them, most likely. But anyway, we got Miami Heat versus Milwaukee Bucks series recap, so let's get started. So, the Milwaukee Bucks sweep the Miami Heat 4-0 in a clean sweep. So, I'm going to start with, I have 8 takeaways for the Heat and 8 takeaways for the Bucks. So, let's start with the Miami Heat. 8 takeaways because they're the losing team, then move on to the winning team. So, first takeaway for the Miami Heat. Tyler Herro is overrated. Yes, I said it. Tyler Herro is overrated. Expectations last year in the bubble. We're down here. After the finals appearance last year. First of all, the Miami Heat went from the finals to a first round, getting swept in the first round. But expectations for Tyler Herro were down here last year. Now they're all the way up here. People set too high expectations on him. I think why he thrived last year was because he was going low-key. He was flying under the radar, if you will. Yeah, flying under the radar, if you will. Teams didn't know how to game plan for him. Now they figured him out. Now his shooting splits were very bad for a so-called sharpshooter in the beginning of the season. First 33 games, he only shot 31% from 3. Thank God his last 23 games, he shot like around 44% from 3, I believe. So, but Tyler Herro's overrated. Maybe even Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo to an extent a little, whatever. But definitely Tyler Herro. He was, again, I'm going to say again, he fit his role perfectly in the bubble last year in that deep finals run they made. They eventually lost to the Lakers in 6 games, 4-2. Yeah, but he was flying under the radar. Expectations were set way too high for him this year. That's why. Next, I might not go in order if I haven't typed up here, written down, but I will be. You guys won't know that because you don't see the paper. But anyway, next is the Heat have not weird, but they have a mix of vets, solid veterans that have been in this league for a long time, like Andre Iguodala, Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, and Kelly Olynyk, and then some solid youth as well, below average to average solid youth, maybe even above average, in Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, maybe. I'm sure I'm forgetting both guys on each side of the line with vets and youth, but a few guys, but anyway, leave in the comments below if I did, but so the vets in Goran, it's weird, they have I wrote down here they have 2 different timelines, and they really do, because the vets in Butler, Dragic, Olynyk, and Iguodala, especially Iguodala, because he's 37 years old, and Dragic, he's 35, and a free agent this summer if he doesn't resign. And Jimmy Butler, they got to get a championship. They got to get a championship. Their time is running out here. Their primes are running out, especially Goran Dragic, and Iguodala is way past his prime now. 3 or 4 years removed from his prime, in my opinion, on that Warriors Dynasty championship run teams. And then but at the same time, you have Herro, Robinson, and Adebayo, where you're like, okay, we want to develop these guys. So there's 2 different timelines. Like I said, I mentioned again, you want to develop the young guys, but at the same time, you want to get the vets. The vets are getting frustrated because they want to get a ring. So, develop the young guys, get a ring. Get a ring, develop the young guys. They're just conflicting timelines. So, next, I have written down here, Jimmy Butler can't carry. Also, I know in Game 1, Jimmy Butler made that shot to force overtime, okay? But then Chris Middleton made it to eventually win the game in the end in overtime. But after that Game 1, Jimmy Butler was very low efficient. He was causing turnovers, throwing away the ball. Jimmy Butler can't carry. His surrounding pieces were not very good. Bam Adebayo was off. Tyler Herro was overrated, like I said, and he did not shoot very well in the series. Duncan Robinson, yes, he was good for some spurts. Goran Dragic, yes, for a few games he was good. But mainly, Butler can't carry. He was trying to will this team, and that's why they got swept. Now on to takeaway number 4. But this kind of goes into this, but Butler had an off series. In parentheses here, like I said shooting and efficiency issues. His shot selection wasn't very good at times, very questionable shot selection, and low efficiency. He was not crafty with the ball. He was not efficient. So those two kind of go hand to hand. Butler can't carry, and he had low efficiency, questionable shots. Next, number 5, Dragic showed his age. For game 1 and 2, he was knocking down shots. Games 1 and 2, he was knocking down shots, hitting threes, actually playmaking. But after that, he just spiraled. It was from here. It was from here and then went all the way down. He showed his age. He's 35. Like I said, he has to win a championship. But he was not very good after game 1 and 2 and half of game 3. He just really showed his age. Sixth takeaway for the Miami were the Miami Heat the Mickey Mouse team last year. That means in the Disney bubble, like I have parentheses here, were they benefited from the bubble the most? And I think so. The Mickey Mouse team was scared. They're in Disney playing on the ESPN World of Sports Complex court, and they just cracked under pressure this year. They benefited from the bubble last year and that long layoff, while other teams were out of shape and stuff. They thrived because, again, not many expectations for them. Tyler Hero and everyone flew under the radar, and Duncan Robinson to an extent. But they disappointed this year. They were the Mickey Mouse team, so-called Mickey Mouse team, if you will, because they're in the Disney complex. They benefited most from the bubble. Next, 7th takeaway and second to last takeaway for the Miami Heat is our major moves coming this offseason, ? Free agency, trades. If you do a sign-in trade you can either sign Kawhi Leonard straight up, but if the cap doesn't work, like the Warriors can't sign him straight up. We'll talk about offseason previews for all 30 NBA teams soon here, after the playoffs. After the playoffs end, most likely, maybe even a little before, but most likely after the end. But I will say the Warriors don't have enough cap. Little hint here, the Warriors don't have enough cap to sign him outright. It'll have to be a sign-in trade. But the Heat might more likely will outright sign him because they do have enough cap to pair him with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo to win that championship, to go on a deep run in the playoffs for once and for all, and not come up short like last year in the Disney bubble, so-called Disney bubble, if you will. But if it was a sign-in trade, I think the Clippers would want it to surround Bam Adebayo. If they traded Kawhi Leonard, or if Kawhi Leonard left, they're tied at 2. I'll get to Mavericks-Clippers preview in a second. I believe that game is tonight. But if Kawhi Leonard left, they might as well sell Paul. They might as well trade away Paul George too and just blow it all up and go for a rebuild. It would probably center around Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and 4 or 5 first-round picks for the Heat to trade for Kawhi Leonard. That's just how it's going to be. Some free agents, Goran Dragic, most likely will leave. I don't think they really need him / want him anymore. He's still a very serviceable player at 35, but yeah, I'll have to look at their free agent list, but mainly Kawhi Leonard and Goran Dragic are their main concerns. They need some more rim protection. Bam Adebayo is good he's not the best defender, but he's okay. They need some more rim protection. They need some more quickness. They need some more defensive stoppers. And the last takeaway for the Miami Heat. This is the biggest one and most impactful. I think they should have traded for James Harden when they had the chance. And in parentheses here, I had Tyler Hero, to them, at least, was deemed untouchable. Now, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. When do you get a chance to trade for a caliber player, James Harden? The only thing I can think of right now was Kawhi Leonard, but that might just be outright sign and free agency for a team. And then Paul George, but he's not in the caliber of James Harden, honestly. But they should have traded Tyler Hero and whatever else, but they should it's center on Tyler Hero. They should trade him for James Harden after the season he just had. And not just knocking him in the playoffs. He had a horrible, horrible regular season, too. Should have traded for James Harden. Would have made it much better than Victor Oladipo, by the way, didn't do anything either. I know he's injured, but they got him for a steal. I think they traded, I don't remember what they... I don't remember what they traded, but... Anyway, Short trade for James Harden. Now, those are the 8 takeaways for the Miami Heat. Under the 8 takeaways for the winners in advancing to face the Brooklyn Nets, because they won last night, and I'll recap that series, Celtics-Nets series, in a video later today as well. I'm going to have 2 or 3 uploads today, so watch out for that. Probably 2 or 3 uploads a day during the playoffs here. Can't wait for that. Bucks, I'm going to run through these a little quicker. Giannis gets redemption, obvious. Bucks losing the first round last year to Miami Heat, and the Miami Heat go on that deep run to the NBA Finals, but Giannis wasn't particularly well in that series. Overly good in that series last year, but he gets redemption here. Next, we have Khris Middleton finally becoming that second star. That the Bucks need. Khris Middleton, a lot of questions early in his career, but he made a clutch shot after clutch shot. Game 1, he won it in overtime. Jumper, just swift, so he's finally becoming that second star. Next, trading for Jrue Holiday was a genius move. I will say this, in the next round, the point guard matchup of Jrue Holiday versus Kyrie Irving is going to be awesome, fast, in a hurry, and just incredible to watch. But anyway, back to Jrue Holiday. That was a genius move for the GM. I forgot his name, but the GM of the Bucks to make. I mean, he can pass, he can shoot. He's a very efficient player, and he's underrated in the league, in my opinion. He got the max extension before this year. I still think he was a little, or the super max, not super max, the max. I still think he was a little overpaid, but he proved his doubters wrong this year, for sure. Genius move of the Bucks front office and coaching staff. Next, the Bucks had a stable supporting cast around the big three of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Giannis, Khris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday are the big 3 of the Bucks in their eyes, and in a lot of people's eyes, including me. They are the big 3. The supporting cast, Donte DiVincenzo, I'll get to him in a minute. Donte DiVincenzo, when he went down, Bryn Forbes stepped up. Bryn Forbes can really shoot it well. Yes, 3-and-D player. He's a very decent 3-and-D player. His defense is underrated, I think. And then Brook Lopez stroking it from deep. That's good too. And then, like I said, Khris Middleton becoming that second star. So, next, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth takeaway for the Bucks. I'm going to pose a question here. Is Mike Budenholzer's job saved because of this? Coach Bud's job saved because of this? I think if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, at least, Coach Bud will be there for at least 1 more year. I don't know why everyone's bagging on him. I don't know why everyone's hating on him. He's a very good coach, in my opinion. So, I think he should stay. When they fired Jason Kidd and hired Mike Budenholzer, Jason Kidd is now an assistant for the Lakers under Frank Vogel. But when they fired Jason Kidd a few years ago and hired Mike Budenholzer, Coach Bud, that's what they call him, Coach Bud. Coach Bud, I didn't understand it, but now I do understand it. Him and Terry Stotts get a lot of shade thrown their way just for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but Coach Bud is better than Terry Stotts, in my opinion. But I think if the Bucks at least beat the Nets and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, his job is safe. Now, if they lose to the Nets here in the series, if they don't get it to at least 7 games, then if they lose all, I might be a little worried. But Coach Bud's job is saved, I think. That answers that question there. Next, 6th takeaway. Will losing, this is kind of like when Bryn Forbes stepped up, and I said earlier in these takeaways, will losing Donte DiVincenzo prevent them, meaning the Bucks, will losing DiVincenzo prevent them from making a deep playoff run and at least to the Eastern Conference Finals to save Coach Bud's job? Now, I think Bryn Forbes is a bit of a downgrade, but he proved us wrong in those couple games that he played to bounce them Heat in the playoffs. Bounce the Heat in the playoffs. Bounce the Heat in the I'm sorry. I'm kind of stuck here. Bounce the Heat in the playoffs, and he's a good shooter, but DiVincenzo, I don't think it will prevent them, but it will make it a bit harder. So that's the answer to that question. Next, 3rd question in a row here. Will they struggle against a team with bigger size and more power? Like the Sixers, I put in parentheses, question mark. Sixers, Joel Embiid, but now that he's day-to-day, I'll break that down too, but in a future video later today. Maybe soon after this one, most likely. But Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, they have size, they have length, they have defense. So will they struggle against that? I don't think they will mightily, but it's definitely more size than they had against the Heat. the Heat only size they really have is Bam Adebayo, and he's not really that much of a plus defender on the court. So last takeaway here, level of competition will definitely increase each round in my eyes. Obviously, right? The Heat, yeah, they blew them out in like every game except like 2 or 3. They blew them out in every game except pretty much game 1, pretty much. It was like a track meet how fast they were rolling over in that. I don't know if that's the right word, but a track meet how fast they were rolling over and then they play the Nets in this round, and then they play the Sixers potentially in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's 2 very, very tough teams you got to play, and the level of competition will definitely increase. The Heat was like just a practice session for them. I know that sounds kind of weird to say, but they were blowouts every game but game 1. Anyways, guys, this is Basketball Star 1130. I hope you enjoyed my takeaways. NBA playoffs are rolling right now. NBA playoffs are my favorite time of the year. They're just so fun, so enjoyable to watch. I'll keep doing these recaps. Expect 2 or 3 videos a day until the playoffs end in about month and a half to 2 months. Anyways, guys, this is Basketball Star 1130. Keep ear for all your sports news, NBA playoffs, NBA content, NFL predictions, everything sports, NBA, NFL, football, basketball. Anyways, guys, this is Basketball Star 1130. See you on the next one. Bye.